What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Shred Beer Company, and they're out of Rocklin, California, and this is their Thumper. So this is a West Coast Triple IPA that comes in at 10.3% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is approximately 5 weeks old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a friend of mine and a fellow beer tuber, Joe Senigaglia, for this beer. So huge thanks to him in the description box. I'll post a link to both the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Joe sent my way, along with a link to his channel. And this is the final beer from said beer mail that I am reviewing on the channel. And I can't thank you, Joe, enough for all of these cool beers. You know, Joe has an amazing channel, but he's an even better person. He sent me a surprise beer mail that included 12 different beers, 9 of which were unique, and 5 of them came from Shred. So he properly introduced me to Shred. I've reviewed a West Coast IPA, a hazy IPA, a German-style Pilsner, a West Coast double IPA, and now finally a West Coast triple IPA. So go check out Joe's channel. This is the last time I'll be able to do so here in the foreseeable future, you know, in a review of a beer he sent my way. So honestly, go check him out. Awesome channel. I know a lot of you follow Joe out there, and it's just awesome. So thank you very much, Joe, for everything you sent my way. Hopefully I saved the best for last, but I saw Joe posted a review of this probably like a week after he sent me the beer mail, so I did not watch the review, but I know from prior like triple IPA reviews, they're not Joe's favorite anymore, and I'm right there with him. The reason why triple IPAs don't do it for me as much anymore is because of health issues that I've dealt with over the last 3 years. So drinking 10+% hop forward beers just like typically aren't in the cards. Now, if they're done extremely well, what that means for me is hides the alcohol to some degree. I know it's gonna, you know, there's gonna be a little bit of alcohol in a big triple IPA, and it tones down the sweetness. Sometimes they're just way too sweet. You usually got a winner on your hand. So hopefully this isn't too boozy and it's not overly sweet. So the hops they're using are Mosaic, Simcoe, and Riwaka Cryo. I'm here for it. So let's crack it open. I've been impressed with the Shred beers, honestly. You know, I heard about them, I think it was late last summer into the fall. And honestly, I've always wanted to try something from them, you know, since then. And Joe hooked it up, and we got some clear beer. Go a little bit heavy here with the pour here, try to generate a decent head, which I have failed to do, but you know, it is what it is. And of course, as I always do, fuck up the pour. We're gonna throw it over here. Anyway, it's sizzling away the head. That's kind of wild. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much clear beer, right? There's a very gentle haze to it. Yeah, very gentle haze. Might be even a chill haze, although this isn't crazy cold. Yeah, I mean, it has that like golden yellow color, not like a pale straw, but more of like a golden, you know, straw yellow color. Had about a finger of a bright white looking head that has now dissipated to a thin film. But again, beautiful clarity, kind of what you expect from a beer like this. Let's get a nose. Yep. So it has that Simcoe dankness, and excuse me, a lot of times people say cattiness. I don't usually say it. It just has to me, and it sounds bad, but just like a generic dankness that I associate with Simcoe. Like I kind of know that it's Simcoe. Not that I've ever done that in like a blind beer review where I'm like, oh yeah, no, I totally know that's Simcoe. I'm just saying like I know it's in here. I smell it, and I'm like, all right, makes sense. A little bit of like a blueberry, nondescript kind of mixed berry, probably from the Mosaic. Passion fruit. Yeah, passion fruit and pineapple, probably Riwaka sneaking in. Underlying citrus, like a blood orange, maybe like a ruby red grapefruit. But this has a very in the nose, a very dank green kind of earthy quality, like tomato stalk, you know, being in a garden, just like that freshness, that green freshness. Not like hot burn, but like green freshness. It smells pretty fucking good. There's a little bit of like a sweeter white bread quality too from the malt. Yeah, not getting much else out of it. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Joe. Very nice. I'm sitting there trying to wait for you see the booze or like a substantial sweetness kicked in at any point. Off that first sip, like an instant warming in my chest, right? Nothing on the palate, which is great. That's kind of where I want these to land. Like, yeah, fuck up, make my chest on fire, right? Big warming, love it. On the palate, do not. I don't want none of that, ethanol, astringent, like breathing fire. Don't want that. Not happening here. The sweetness is also kind of not there. Like it's there, okay? That was stupid to say. But like after that first sip, I'm not like, wow, this is too syrupy and cloying. No, not at all. Another sip. I like the finish. So the body of this one's actually a bit thin, and we'll rehash this and spend 20 seconds on it. Don't mind when triple IPAs are a bit thin. I think it helps the drinkability. I don't like when these are syrupy and just over the top with like the body being too heavy. And I think that they've done a good job with the body here. If you're somebody who wants like a super syrupy kind of body, this isn't it. But it's like higher side of medium, lower side of full, a bit thinner for 10.3%. Fine by me. The mouthfeel is average, if I'm being honest with you. It just has a nice crispness to it, moderate carbonation. Nothing really winning me over with the mouthfeel, but it's fine. The taste, I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense and kind of, just like kind of punching you in the face with just a lot of hop saturated goodness. It's a little bit dialed back. I get white bread, dives underneath the palate, and then I get a lot of citrus, more citrus than I was getting in the nose. Again, it's blood orange, ruby red grapefruit, tangerine, but it's not like a juicy version of those. It's more that pithy, zesty, kind of zippy citrus notes. Halfway through the palate, I do get a touch of that. Like it's more of like a straight blueberry, like that candied kind of blueberry you'd sometimes get from Mosaic, but it's just like, I would say more than a scotch. So we'll say like a mild kind of characteristic of the Mosaic. Then after that, I do get some passion fruit, a little bit of pineapple, maybe even like a guava. And then the finish is that dankness out, that dank green floral earthy thing that was carried over from the nose for sure. I think the Simcoe and a bit of that Riwaka was Milwaukee? No, not Milwaukee. Riwaka. I just combined in Mosaic and Riwaka. We got Riwaka, or maybe we got Mosaic. Either way, the combination of those two with the Simcoe really like intensifying and amplifying that dankness I'm getting on the palate, which why I said I really like the finish. It's that dank, earthy green quality mixing in with a residual passion fruit kind of juiciness and a little bit of like pineapple and guava. So it's really nice on the palate. Finishes full on dry. I would like to see a little bit more bitterness here. This has a mild to moderate bitterness smack dab in the middle. I'd like to see this a little bit more punchy with the bitterness. So there's pros and cons to this one. I love that it's not actually all that sweet. Like, yeah, is there some sweetness here? Yeah, it's 10.3%. Fucking, yes, it's going to be sweet. It's balanced. It's actually balanced, and the ABV is relatively well hidden on the palate. So the two things I mentioned at the beginning, they've done well. I think what stops this from being a beer that I absolutely adore is that I don't think the flavors are all that pungent, like punching me in the face. And if I'm going to drink a triple IPA, I want that. Like that's what I want, right? The body is right in my wheelhouse of what I want. The mouth feels a little bit lacking. So again, there's a lot of pros and cons here. I'm gonna definitely drink the rest of this and not be disappointed I did. Let's just say that. It's just, you're reviewing a beer, you're trying to break it down. This is what I'll say. Of the beers that Joe sent my way from Shred, this might be my least favorite of the ones he had in the box. I definitely like the Indo Alto more. 100% like the Hop Suey more. That was my favorite of the box, or of the Shred beers. The German style pills, I won't compare it, but as a whole, like that one more. And then I think it's like kind of in between this and the hazy. I still think I prefer the hazy a little bit more than this. This isn't a bad beer in the least. This is actually quite well done. And like I said, those two things that I look for in a beer that's a triple IPA, they've kind of nailed. It's just the beer as a whole doesn't like hit me in the feels as much as I want. So Thumper from Shred, I have to be honest, and that's all you can ask. And it's almost like I'm reading this off like I'm going to give it a fucking 2 out of 5 or something. I'm not. It's still going to get a really good score. It's just triple IPAs that usually hide the alcohol quite well and aren't overly sweet. I usually go nuts about them. I'm just not going nuts about this one. So I'm going to give this a straight 4 out of 5. That's I think, where it lands for me. It's a good to very good beer for me. but I've had much better triple IPAs. And when in my mind, I'm comparing them to the other 4 shred he sent my way and the other beers in that box, like, yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the shred beers. And my least favorite of the shred beers still got a 4 out of 5. So I think that speaks to quality that Shred's putting out. If I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 and I'm still enjoying it and it's the least favorite of the ones he sent my way, yeah, Shred's doing it and doing it well. So yeah. Anyway, put this over here. Price point availability, like I said, with all these Shred reviews, don't know. I would hope this isn't any more than like $24 a 4-pack and more in like the $20 to $22 realm. Triple IPAs, when it comes to craft beer, when it comes to California, expensive. So, I would imagine this is like $20 to $24 a 4-pack, and then availability at Shred, I have no idea. Just if you're in and around Rocklin and you can get your hands on Shred, do so. 5 beers sent to me from Joe from them, and they've all been, at the very least, good to very good. Anywhere between like a 4, and I think I gave that Hop Suey like a 4.75. Like, they make some fucking tasty West Coast goodness. I would say that if I ever see Shred in my neck of the woods, I'm picking it up. That's all I got to say. So once again, huge thanks to Joe for all of the beers. He said, no, Joe, you don't have to send me anything back. I just want to share with you. And I know, Joe, I know. But here's the thing. You're a fellow beer tuber. I'm sending you some stuff back. I'm going to send him a lot of macro stuff. I love watching Joe's battle beers. And I'm going to throw in some Jenny. I might throw in some Utica Club because he's never had it before. Throw in some other local, like, macro stuff, maybe a couple local things that he might enjoy. But I'll be definitely hitting him back in the next couple months. And yeah, hopefully he enjoys the package. It's not going to be as good as the one he sent my way, but again, he doesn't want anything, and I know he likes the macro, so we're gonna do that at some point. So thanks to Joe, thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this beer before or anything else from Shred, comment section, I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, we're gonna shut this one down to the next one. Cheers.